Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. It's time to talk about Monday Night Raw. I know, I'm talking about it like this again. I'm kind of trying to do this a bit more often instead of just using my camera all the time and, do it the usual way. I actually kind of liked doing things this way, but, it depends. If you guys prefer me just having a stilt image and just hearing my voice, or if you prefer seeing my face when I'm talking. So it just depends on what you guys prefer. So Raw kicked off with Jey Uso yeeting, as always. Paul Heyman would come out and he would talk to Jey. It would eventually lead to a match between Jey Uso and Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship. So yeah, kind of pointless if you ask me. Like a random world title match on an episode of Raw. Like, come on. Like, I think we all knew Jey was not going to be losing the title this early on in his run as champion. Like, the worst case scenario is that he loses his frickin' belt to Logan Paul, of all people. Which, at this point, I would not be surprised if that actually happens. Because Triple H just seems to have a goddamn hard-on for this guy. Penta would defeat JD McDonough despite the most of the outside interference from the Judgment Day. Look, I know a lot of people like Penta, but man, oh man, he just feels like another guy on the roster. Just because you're using him every single week does not mean it's gonna be good. And I think him just feuding with the Judgment Day is kind of pointless. But also, I really wish that Penta was the guy to be the Intercontinental Champion instead of Dominic. But hey, this is WWE, this is the land of WWE, where we push the shitty wrestlers and the undeserving ones, and keep down all the good and talented people. Karrion Kross had a scathing thoughts on Sami Zayn, and it feels like the whole promo that Karrion did on that After Mania show, where he went on to have his viral moments, and he went off about being a good soldier and all that stuff. To me, that feels like it was a very scripted. Kind of feels like it was scripted, because if that is exactly how he truly felt, why would Triple H be using him? Why would Triple H be having him on TV if Karrion genuinely felt that way? So it kind of feels like Triple H knew that Karrion was going to go on a promo like this, and so he thought, well, we'll give you a viral moment. If you cut a viral moment, you will get more TV time, despite the fact that his contract is coming up soon. And if I'm going to be honest, I wouldn't really miss Karrion Kross if he did leave. The only bad thing would be I wouldn't be able to see Scarlett anymore, which she's the only real good thing about him. She's really the only good thing about him. So, after this, we had the return of Sheamus. Great to see Sheamus back. He takes on Austin Theory, who fans for some reason like this guy. I really want to know, where did all this love and support for Austin Theory come from? In 2022 and 2023, we all couldn't stand this guy. Vince McMahon was shoving him down our throats. He was having him be the US champion and Money in the Bank contract winner and all that stuff. Had him beat John Cena and all that stuff. We all hated that. We all didn't like that. But all of a sudden, ever since Triple H has taken over, all of a sudden, Austin Theory just gets fans from out of nowhere. He just all of a sudden out of nowhere, he's just got a fan base. Like, where the hell were all these Austin Theory fans when Vince McMahon was pushing him as Money in the Bank contract winner and US champion? Like, seriously, I don't understand it. It's fake support. If Theory was being pushed, I guarantee you he'd be getting shit on again. I guarantee you he would be getting shit on again if he was being pushed. But because he's not, it's all of a sudden, yeah, we actually like this guy. The fans do this all the time. They hate the people that get pushed. They hate wrestlers that get constantly shoved down the fans' throats. But if there's any wrestler that's being misused and mistreated, they will support them. They will rally for them, and then as soon as WWE does give them something to do and start pushing them up the card a bit more, then people will start turning on that person. It happens all the damn time. So all this fake love that Austin Theory just randomly has gotten out of nowhere because of Triple H's booking of him, to me, is just ridiculous. The way Triple H is booking Austin Theory is exactly how I would book Austin Theory too. He's not upper mid card. He's not an upper card, mid card wrestler. He's a below low card jobber kind of talent. To me, that's the level Austin Theory should be. So Sheamus defeats Austin Theory. Nice to see Sheamus back. You know, I missed seeing Sheamus. I miss seeing Sheamus. I always enjoy a good Sheamus match. Nice to see Sheamus back. AJ Styles invades Judgment Day's locker room. It seems like they're teasing him having a match with Dominic Mysterio. I would like to see AJ Styles win the IC title, but at this point, I don't think it's going to happen. Considering that this guy lost to Logan Paul, I am not going to be putting it past Triple H to have him also put over Dirty Dominic Mysterio. Speaking of Ireland, since I talked about Sheamus, let's talk about the next two Irish people on the card. And to nobody's shocking surprise at all, this was the highlight of the show for me. This was the best part on the show. Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria, they have another segment together. Becky cuts another big old promo on Lyra and Bayley. Lyra comes out. Listen, I'm not the biggest Lyra Valkyria fan, but I do think her promos have gotten a whole lot better. And I think with Becky Lynch backing her, it's kind of obvious that Becky Lynch is going to have her back. She's going to be supporting her. So obviously she's going to be giving her a lot of advice. So it's definitely... So I think having Becky Lynch be her supporter is definitely playing a big major role here. But again, Becky and Lyra have another good segment together. They go back and forth on each other, which was really good. And Becky Lynch just being that obnoxious, trash-talking kind of version of the man, I think is going to go down well. I think it's going to go down well because, you know, she's going to come off very, very egotistical. I think having her be egotistical is very, very good. Now, here's the thing, while I would have been okay with Becky Lynch, you know, evolving her character and becoming something completely different, you know, like moving on from the man and inventing a new character, many people felt Bayley could have done the same thing. If Bayley can create the role model character while being a heel and still transition that character into a likable character, I think Becky Lynch can do the same thing with the man character. I think she can turn it into a very despicable heel character. And I know a lot of people don't really like Becky as a heel, but I generally think Becky Lynch has potential to be a great heel if they just give her the right material. And it doesn't really bother me if the fans cheer her or not, but, you know, I would generally like to see her get booed, because if Becky does get booed, it just shows you she's actually succeeding in her role as a heel. Because as a heel, it's your job to get the people to hate you, not to really cheer you. But as for Lyra Valkyria, again, I thought the promo was good. I thought the promo was very well done. I thought it was good. And they had a brawl afterwards. Now, for those who complained that Becky backed away from Lyra last week, I'm pretty sure those people will be happy this week, because the two of them have a big old massive brawl. Lyra stands tall in the end by hitting the Nightwings on the man and takes her out and leaves her laying. So Lyra stands tall here, and considering Backlash is 4 days away, God's sakes, it's Backlash time already? Jesus, I can't believe how fast it's been. It's like, it's already Backlash time already. But considering, you know, Lyra just stood tall here, I'm kind of thinking Becky Lynch is going to ultimately win the championship. But I know a lot of people are going to be, because a lot of people have been telling me, well, hey man, like, you never know, Bayley could come back. Bayley could come back and cost Becky Lynch the title. While that is possible, I think having Becky Lynch be the champion is a good thing. I think having her be the champion is a good thing because, the name value of Becky Lynch being the Intercontinental Champion is a good thing. I could see Becky winning the title and then maybe Bayley comes out after the match. But, one way or another, we'll see how it all turns out. Another thing here I want to mention here real quick is that, again, I don't hate Lyra Valkyria as much as what some people probably think. While I'm not her biggest fan, I do think she's a good wrestler. And I've got nothing wrong with her when it comes to her in-ring performance. I think her in-ring performances are fine. I think she's very cute when she has her hair down. But other than that, she hasn't done anything that has made me go, wow, man, I freaking love Lyra Valkyria. Wow, she's awesome. She's definitely the future. She hasn't really done anything that has made me blow my mind. And another thing about Lyra is, what on earth is her character supposed to be? Like, I know she's got this whole bird lady persona, but could we really consider that a character? Like, people just call her that. Fans just call her the bird lady. I don't really know if that's really a character or not. So, I think they really need to give her some kind of character or gimmick. But, fans are really getting behind Lyra, so I guess what she's doing currently is working. And again, Lyra is getting over because she's working with Becky Lynch. She wasn't really getting a lot of reactions when Becky wasn't there, but as soon as Becky comes back and they make her a heel, all of a sudden now fans are fully behind Lyra Valkyria. So, again, the power of Becky, man. The star power of Becky Lynch continues to strike here, but everyone wants to call her a Hogan. And you know what? I think Becky should embrace that. I think Becky should embrace the Becky Hogan shit that the fans say on social media. I think she should embrace it. I think she should beat Lyra Valkyria for the IC title, then go on to beat Io, hold 2 belts, if she really wants to. Like, become like Mercedes. Become like Mercedes. Becky, become like Mercedes Moné. Win as many titles as possible. You want people, you have people calling you a Hogan? Then act like one. Act like one. Win as many titles as possible. Because Mercedes has 4 championships, people think she has creative control, which she doesn't. Only idiots on social media would buy into that shit. But again, if people want to call her a Hogan, I think Becky should embrace that and win multiple championships. Become the Mercedes of WWE, where you constantly win titles and fans are calling you a Hogan, and then everyone's just like, oh, she's got creative control in her contract or whatever. I think that would be kind of funny. I think that'd be funny and it would be hilarious, and I think it would be a great way to give Becky Lynch more heat. You want to call me a Hogan? Then I'll frickin' be one. I'll constantly win all the time, and I'll constantly win all the time. I'll win everything. I think that would go down. I think that would really make Becky Lynch a really big heel, in my opinion. So anyway, moving on from that, we get Io Sky versus Roxanne Perez. Now, I know a lot of people seem to think that, Roxanne can go over in defeat. Well, in a way, it can work. But I'm not a fan of how they've been booking Roxanne Perez this year. Roxanne Perez, after losing tonight against Io Sky, because of course she lost. Again. She always is losing now, which is really pathetic from WWE's perspective. Roxanne is 3 wins and 13 losses. She's won 3 matches and she's lost 13 matches. And her whole persona is talking about how no one is on her level. I am the prodigy. No one's on my level. And yet she's lost 13 times. So I guess all the people that have beaten her are on her level. From Stephanie Vaquer to Julia. to Io Sky, to Kalani Jordan and Jordan Grace. You know, all the people that have beaten her, I guess, are on the Prodigy's level. I guess if you beat the Prodigy, then you're on her level. I guess that's how it works, right? If you beat the Prodigy, then I guess you're on her level. Again, it's something I'm not a fan of. I love Roxanne as a heel. I think she's great. I also am so annoyed that they literally had her cut a promo, and it was during the frickin' commercial break. They had her cut a promo during the commercial break. See, this would have been good to have on TV. This would have been good for the TV audience, for the people that watch it on TV. Well, yes, I know Netflix still show what's happening when they do go to commercial break, but it's so frustrating that these kinds of things for Roxanne for the last 2 weeks would have been better if it was actually happening before the commercial break. You know, when she had her entrance last week against Rhea Ripley, like, it would have been better if they showed her entrance on TV before they went to the commercial break instead of giving her the jobber entrance treatment. But now they have her cut a promo while they're on a commercial break. See, that would have been better if it happened on TV, and then they could have gone to a commercial break. But instead, everything that's been happening with Roxanne has been a negative since she's come to the main roster. So she loses again to Io. She loses again to Io, which I know makes sense because we've been seeing a lot of DQs over the last several weeks. So we don't need any more DQs because I think it would get annoying. I think it would get annoying if we constantly see DQs. So Julia and Roxanne then beat up Io after the match. And so I saw a lot of people wondering where the hell was Rhea. Number one, WWE just announced that they are going to Australia in October. They announced Crown Jewel that will be taking place outside of Saudi Arabia for the first time. Australia will be the first non-Saudi Arabian show to have the Crown Jewel name, which this automatically makes it the greatest Crown Jewel of all time. To me, this automatically makes it the best and the greatest Crown Jewel pay-per-view of all time because it's not in Saudi Arabia. And number two, Rhea Ripley was there. She was there during the presentations. She's going around promoting the Australia show, so of course that's why she's not there. And number two, Io told Rhea she didn't want any help. So, again, they're playing into the storyline here. Then we get boring-ass Rusev. I'm sorry. I just do not care for Rusev. I just do not care for him. To me, he has to be the worst rehire Triple H has had. I know a lot of people tend to talk about how Triple H is the master of rehiring people, but I feel like Rusev is the worst one. I just do not care for Rusev. He beats Otis. He beats Otis. No one cared. No one cares about Rusev. The only people that care about Rusev were the people that loved him during Rusev Day. Well, the Rusev Day stuff was popular at the time, but again, this ain't 2017? I think that's when Rusev Day started. He was at his peak. To me, that was when Rusev was at his peak. So, we then get Pat McAfee and Gunther in a face-to-face promo. I do not understand why Triple H thought this was a great match to put on pay-per-view. I love me some Gunther. I think Gunther is like a really great wrestler. But man, he deserves so much better than Pat freaking McAfee. And listen, I like Pat too. I like Pat too. But Pat McAfee in the ring with Gunther, this could either make Gunther a dominant monster again, or this could ultimately hurt him. Because if you can you imagine if Pat McAfee defeats Gunther here, This will hurt Gunther badly. This will hurt Gunther. So Gunther needs to destroy Pat McAfee. He needs to absolutely eviscerate this guy. Eviscerate him. So that's all I'm really going to say about that. Main event, Jey Uso, Seth Rollins World Heavyweight Championship. The match doesn't have a clear winner, obviously. Sami Zayn and CM Punk both come out, and yeah, they pretty much come to Jey Uso's aid. So what was all this nonsense that people kept telling me that it was going to be Roman Reigns and CM Punk versus Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker? It sounds like it's going to be Sami Zayn and CM Punk versus Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker. So where was this Roman Reigns nonsense coming from? Roman is a part-time wrestler. He's not gonna. To me, Roman working Backlash would be crazy. So look, people even said Rhea Ripley and Jade Cargill were gonna team up to take on Bianca Belair and Naomi, but at Backlash, and not even that is even happening. Like, Bianca's injured apparently, so it sounds like it might be Io and Rhea versus Roxanne and Julia. But then again, we are 4 days away from Backlash, so honestly, that's probably not even going to happen either at the pay-per-view. So Logan Paul, God, I can't stand this asshole, man. Like, this guy just flat out sucks. I don't know if they've confirmed Logan Paul and Jey Uso for the World Heavyweight title at Backlash, but if they do, man, please, for the love of God, Triple H, if you have Jey Uso lose to Logan Paul, if you crown Logan Paul the World Heavyweight Champion, I am going to quit watching WWE for possibly the rest of this year. Because seriously, and you people may think, oh, here we go, oh, look, Patrick's just saying that. He's going to tune into Monday Night Raw next week. No, genuinely. I am genuinely telling you my God's honest truth. If Logan Paul is the World Heavyweight Champion, I am not going to watch this product for the rest of the year. Even if they do fantastic things with Becky Lynch, even if Rhea Ripley does something awesome, I am never going to watch this product again. If Logan Paul is the champion, I do not want a world with Logan Paul as World Heavyweight Champion. This is the kind of guy you pay to see money to lose, to get his ass kicked. People tell me about this with Roxanne Perez. Oh, she's a heel. You pay money to see her get her comeuppance. It should be Logan Paul's job. That should be Logan Paul, not Roxanne Perez. Logan Paul should be the kind of guy you pay money to watch this guy get his ass kicked every single week. But instead, we're seeing this guy pick up clean wins over AJ Styles. It is absolutely a big, pathetic excuse to push this man so hard. And the fact that they released all these wrestlers, 17 wrestlers, and they're going to be giving more money to Logan Paul and even Travis Scott is a major joke. Io Sky was attacked on Raw today. You could have had Dakota Kai. This would have been the perfect time to use Dakota Kai. To have her come out and aid Io against Julia and Roxanne. And then you could have had Io and Dakota versus Roxanne and Julia at Backlash. And then you could have had Julia or Roxanne pick up the victory at Backlash by pinning Dakota Kai. Seriously. I'm not a fan of Julia being in the tag division. Like, she's above the tag division, but it gets her TV time, so I guess I shouldn't complain too much. But really, if you think about it more, some of these releases could have been benefited from Raw today, like Dakota Kai, but whatever. So Raw ends with Logan Paul beating up Jey Uso. Whoop-de friggin' do. Please, Triple H, do not make Logan Paul champion. Alright? Otherwise, you'll be losing yourself a very loyal WWE fan. That's all I've got for you guys. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Be sure to like and subscribe.